Thank you for coming to our session today.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we left off with you talking about your weight loss journey, and from a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being completely satisfied and a 10 being completely unsatisfied with your weight. You said you were about an 8 last week, so I'm just wondering, as we get started, where you're at this week.
Honestly, I'm probably still at the same place.
About an 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so what does that look like to you, like an 8?
I just feel like a blob of like...
A blob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like a blob. I mean, I think I kind of like went on the scale and like peaked really quickly. I think it went down.
But you think your weight went down?
Yeah.
Okay.
By like 2 pounds or something.
Okay.
But it's still like, I just need to drop 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you kept saying that you felt like a blob, or you still feel like a blob. So what does that mean to you? What is a blob to you?
Just like round and like unshapely. Like I look like an unfit 12-year-old boy.
So you feel like you look like an unfit 12-year-old boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so tell me more about that. Like why do you feel like you look like a 12-year-old boy?
I think, 12-year-old boys, like, they probably are just like hitting puberty, so like they get a bit thick before they get into sports, and they're a bit like just like big kid, and it was like, oh, it's just baby fat, I don't lose weight, at that stage, and I kind of just like, I feel big, and that feeling of feeling big is not going away, though like I suppose in some aspects I feel a bit better and healthier, because like usually, I mean, I don't really get bad menstrual cycle pains, but this time I pretty much got none.
Okay.
And my mom was like, oh, it's probably because you're exercising. So I'm seeing the benefits of it.
Okay.
But I still can't help
the benefits of exercising?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still can't help by feeling like a blob. So.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, so you said just a few words ago that you okay?
Yes.
Okay. So you said that this feeling of feeling fat and unhealthy isn't going away. So I'm curious to know about how long you've been feeling like this.
Probably when I came back in America in August.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I suppose because when I was at home, like there was a lot going on with like family life, and I was like trying to work, so I wasn't really eating that well. So like I did look a bit thinner, but like sickly during the summer. And when I came back here, I was stress eating because it was like family life again. And then like my arms started getting like super big again.
Okay.
I've always had like issues with my arms, but like at one point I got it like handled. I felt like my arms are coming back, which I'm super excited that winter's here, because then like we all wear long sleeves. No one has to see my arms.
Okay. Right. So you said that when you were back home in London, that you had a lot going on with your family, and then when you came back here in August, is that correct? In August? Okay. Then you started stress eating because of still things with your family. Okay. So tell me about like the family situation. If I'm not going too deep, tell me about that and what caused you to start stress eating with the family.
Okay, without like going in too deep and me crying, there was like a lot of like situations like that going on with like family and like really close family friends, and then like I was saying last time, when you like Africans greet people with insults. You know, so it's like a funny, like joking thing for them. So when I went home, everyone was like, "Oh, look at the big girl again." Like, you know, so they would say like stuff like about my weight and in like a jokingly manner for them. But obviously, it wasn't like a joking thing for me because I'm actually struggling with my weight because I'm like at a really big point in like I've never really been this big where I'm like really uncomfortable with myself. Besides before when I was bulimic, but still I wasn't this big. So like yeah, with them just like, oh, you need to watch what you're eating, you have to do this, do that, and then it's like with everything else going on, instead of eating less or watching what I was eating, I was just like eating more and like I guess indulging in fast food. And then like my roommate situation wasn't like the best. It was really messy. So I didn't want to like be home a lot, so I was out eating bad as opposed to just cooking. I mean, you couldn't really put anything in the fridge because it was disgusting. But yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
Okay, so with the whole family situation, and then you also mentioned a roommate situation, that you started going out and eating, which you feel like wasn't too good for you. So, but you started indulging in food. So tell me about that roommate situation. Talk to me more about that. I know you briefly talked about that in previous sessions, but I would like to know a little bit more.
So it was 3 of us that lived in the house. It was supposed to be 4, but one of them couldn't be there, so it was ended up 3. And then yeah, they're like nice girls, like character-wise. They're really sweet girls, but they were just extremely dirty. It was like stuff
Dirty?
stuff in the fridge that was from like 2016.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, huh? And then I'm gonna use like a John Doe name. I'm gonna call her, I don't know. I really want to call her name. I'm just gonna call her John. Okay?
John?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she lived in the house in 2016, and there was still like stuff marked with her name on it. I'm like, who is this girl? And it's like, oh yeah, she was here like 2 years ago. So why is it still in the fridge? Yeah, so it was like stuff like that. It was like just extremely messy. And one of them, like after we had like a whole talk and conversation about it, she like really started like fixing up and like she took things seriously. Whereas the other girl, she was, I guess she knew that she was preparing to leave, so she was just kind of like, she gave up on everything in the house, and she was just like messy all the time. And yeah, so the fridge was disgusting, so I didn't want to put anything in there. It's just like, I don't want to eat and clean food on top of dirty food. It's just going to contaminate it. And then the kitchen was like mostly dirty and it stunk. The house stunk. So it's just like, no, I didn't want to be in that. And I was also going through like everything else. So like I wasn't at home too much, but then I couldn't stay out too late because I had to walk home. I don't have a car.
Okay.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, so you... I'm sorry?
So, sorry, it was just a lot. Yeah, it was a lot.
So it was a lot for you to walk home and with the whole roommate situation? Okay. So you mentioned a few times that it was dirty and it just stunk. So what does that mean to you? What does like something being dirty mean to you?
Okay, so I understand, like I'm low-key like a bit of a clean freak, but then at the same time I'm very considerate that not everyone's going to be as clean as I am, and not everyone's going to have the same cleaning standards as me. But if I see that you clean to the best of your ability, then I'm okay with that. I just don't clean at all. But it was stuff like, you know, when you're outside in a dirty area, if you like littered, you wouldn't feel so bad about it, as opposed to if you were at Liberty, like on campus, you wouldn't litter there because everything is super clean. So inside the house, in the sitting room, you could literally throw a big piece of trash on the floor and it not look any different because it was that dirty. So it was like bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this roommate situation also ties with your weight issues. So I'm curious to know what steps you have already taken over the past few weeks as we've been together to kind of help your situation.
Well, she left.
Your roommate?
Yes. And
Okay.
I said that with a smile, and I feel terrible
Mm-hmm.
because she wasn't a bad person, but the house is much cleaner now. So she's gone, and so I've been like able to go food shopping and make healthier food choices, like buying healthier stuff, like getting healthier oils instead of just like getting vegetable oils and stuff like that. And then just like cutting back on like carbs and stuff, and actually like meal prepping and cooking instead of just saying, oh, I'm gonna go and eat out, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I've been cooking healthier stuff, trying to have a balanced diet, eat like fishes and like healthy meats and stuff. I start exercising with a friend.
Okay.
That's been like really cool. I feel like that's also helped a lot, like to just give me some energy to not always feel like sluggish. So yeah, we've been going to the gym 4 to 5 times. I don't think we've hit 5. About 4 times a week we've gone, and that's been happening for about 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3. I don't know. Between 2 and 3 weeks.
About 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's been happening, and yeah, that's been helpful. And what else have I done? I made a plan with myself not to like take any shortcuts and like use like gimmicks to I don't know, lose weight super quick. So like, you know, not like going on YouTube and be like fast methods to lose weight. I've actually just like been patient with myself and trying to be gracious with myself and like weight loss is a long and sometimes tedious or tiresome journey. And I'm not going to drop 20 pounds in 1 week. As much as I mean, if I wanted to, it'll be like in a very unhealthy way. So I've been like trying to go about it in healthy ways, and I could swear to you, Google is listening to me, because I would go on like, I don't know, like Facebook or Twitter, not so much Twitter actually, Facebook or Instagram, and then you know like the promotion stuff that comes out, like, it's not really your friends, but it's like ads.
Right.
All the ads were all of a sudden weight loss stuff, and I was like,
the ads on all of the public sites like Facebook.
Yeah, and like Google is listening to my conversations, because why would you know to promote all these healthy weight loss things? And it was like, buy this and lose 3 inches in 3 inches in 3 days, you know. So just like little gimmicks like that. And I'm like, Google is listening to me, and I didn't appreciate it. But yeah, trying to like stay focused and trying to not let like I don't know, the fear of like family members seeing me and like calling me big again, like make me want to take a shortcut.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna backtrack just a little bit and go back to where you said now that your roommates moved out, you are able to buy healthy food and put it in the refrigerator to try to help you with a balanced diet. So I'm curious to know what a balanced diet looks like for you and what that means to you.
It's probably not that balanced, but okay, I try to not have a bunch of starchy stuff on my plate.
Right.
So like maybe like 1 starch per meal sometimes. I try to limit it to just 1. So this week actually I've been eating a lot of fish. I've had a lot of salmon, but usually when I eat salmon, I'll you know, eat it with some like potatoes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this week I ate it with cabbage and asparagus. And that's like a big difference for me because usually I wouldn't eat that. And then sometimes I take shortcuts in cooking because I can be a bit impatient sometimes. So instead of just like frying my salmon in low heat, I just put it inside the oven and baked it. Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that's healthy. I suppose I don't know. I still sprayed it with oil so it doesn't get stuck. But anyway, um, yeah. So like baking stuff, not
Mm-hmm.
frying everything. Um, trying to actually eat breakfast. I never ever eat breakfast.
Okay.
I don't eat like I have an 8 a.m. for 5:05, and then I have another class right after that for 5:10.
Right.
And then I'll blink my eyes and it's 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really bad. I'm trying to like take fruit to eat in between. I have like a 30 minutes of time to take something to eat. I haven't done that yet, but it's a thought.
Okay. So maybe it's a next step that you could do before our next session.
It's Thanksgiving next week,
Okay.
so probably I could like do that. Yeah, that makes sense. I could do that.
So you were talking about how excuse me, how this makes you feel. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to think.
Sorry. I said a lot of confusing stuff. Basically, this is my idea of a balanced diet, and it's making me feel like at least less, I don't know, discouraged about seeing my family
Mm-hmm.
and like them calling me like, hey, you're big and stuff like that. I mean, being discouraged by it. And then, what else? I said it all, even though I don't remember what I said.
Okay, so let's focus on that word discouraged. You said that your family makes you feel discouraged from your weight. So tell me a little bit more about that and what that discouragement looks like for you.
It's kind of like, okay, so like, hey, fatty, stuff like that. It's like, okay, hi, I suppose, I guess I would like look around, okay, I guess you're speaking to me. And then, like, if I was like FaceTime, like, one of my aunts, she'd be like, oh, your face looks bigger. It's like, I didn't come here to be attacked. I just came to say hi and check up on you. And then, what other words would they say? Oh, call me like the big girl or the thicker one. And I'm not thick in a cute way. Like, you know now, like, millennials say, like, oh, girl, you thick. And, like, it's like, oh, you're thick in, like, a nice, like, you're well-proportioned, I suppose. But no, they're saying I'm just, like, thick, like, a blob thick. You know? So, yeah, it'll be words like, yeah, hey, fatty. Or you look bigger, your face looks rounder. So I don't even FaceTime a bunch of them. I just do audio calls now because it's like, if you don't see me, then you can't make me feel bad about my weight and where I'm at, you know.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you try to avoid some certain family members as much as possible. Is that correct? Okay. So is that just because of the discouragement?
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to like a lot. Like I haven't even really like if they were like, hey, fatty, I would have been like, well, I'm trying to do something about it, just in case I don't lose weight. So they'll be like, she goes to the gym for no reason. Like she just goes to the gym to waste time, kind of thing. So yeah, I just audio to avoid that hearing the constant, oh, you need to like lose weight, or just to avoid the conversation because like I said, I don't want to let them know, like besides my mom and my sisters, I don't want to let them know that I'm trying to actively do something because if I don't, then it'll be like, oh, she just puts on gym clothes for decoration. Stuff. It sounds like, oh, it's cute and funny, but it's like, no, I'm not doing this for decoration. I'm doing it for actual betterment of my physique.
Okay. So it sounds like your family's opinions mean a lot to you.
Yeah, we have we're a very close family, kind of weirdly close. Like my friends, like me being here, my friend has already gone out with my sisters twice.
Your friend?
Yeah, so it's like my friend becomes their friend, and like vice versa. We're like that close that our friends can like just hang out with them, and it's not like weird to us. But I guess it kind of is like, you being away from home, and then your friend goes to hang out with your mom. It's kind of a bit creepy sometimes.
Okay. So on the one hand, I'm hearing that it's not really very weird, but on the other hand, you feel like it's kind of creepy. So tell me more about that. Why does it feel weird, not weird, and creepy at the same time?
I guess like I like the fact that they embraced my friends, and like they accept it, and like my friends are like a good, I suppose, choice for friends. But then I guess it's not so much weird, but I just don't want to share my friends. I mean, I grew up in a big family. There's a lot of siblings and stuff like that. Sometimes you just like in a big family, it's hard to be like, this is mine. Like you have something for yourself.
Something for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I worked hard to find these friends and my friends, and now I have to share my friends with you guys again. Like I'm tired of sharing. Sharing is caring until you just don't care anymore. I'm at the point where I just want to be by myself. Like I just want to have my own things where I like handpicked it, and it's just mine. I don't know if I'm making sense anymore.
So it's important for you. So it sounds like it's important for you to have something that is just your own, even if it's just a friend, that you're not sharing with your family.
Yeah, I suppose like I've always. It's like okay, so like going to school. Also, I'm younger than my siblings, so they probably been in that institution before I was, and I'll go there as so and so's little sister. Like everywhere I went, I was so and so's younger sister, and I was like, oh gosh, okay. So like having an identity of my own, like is very important to me. And I guess my friends are kind of like showing me your friends that show you who you are. I guess they're kind of part of like my thing, so it makes sense for them to be able to gel with my siblings because like we're similar. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I've worked hard to develop my own identity separate from everyone. And I've worked hard to, I suppose, accumulate these friends separate from everyone. Leave them alone. And I guess it's being a bit, I don't know, childish and selfish. But yeah.
Okay. So you feel like it might be a bit childish or selfish, but at the same time, you still want your friends to be your own friends.
Yeah. I don't mind that my siblings like them and like they can hang out and stuff. It's cool. But then at the same time, it's like I don't want it to be our friendship group. It's my friendship group because I do have like a friendship with my sisters and stuff like that, and we're very close, and I do consider them like close friends of mine. But then it was very important for me to also have like objective friends outside of my family where we couldn't pick and choose sides and we could be unbiased about certain things. I could vent to them about certain things, and like I feel like mixing that with my family kind of takes away from that a bit because it's like even with the weight thing, I can vent to my friends about being big and like, oh, let's go do something about it. But then if they're around my family enough time, then like me and my best friend do it all the time. We've been like, I guess she's around my family too much, and now we even call each other fat. Like, oh yeah, we're the big girls, because like they're so comfortable with her that they even call her big, and she accepts it. Like,
your friend?
yeah,
Okay.
they call me and my best friend like big, and even my best friend's mom does it. Like, it's literally an African thing. Even her mom does it, and like she would like call us big and all these stuff, like call us fat and all these things, and like we'll laugh about it, but it's like I suppose it's something that we're both struggling with also. But yeah, for the fact, just like the mere fact that they're too close to be calling somebody, I suppose, like a stranger, almost big as well. It's like it's either a really, really African thing that they just is embedded with them, or they're too close to her, and it's a lot.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So you said quite a few times talking about that your African culture, and so it seems to me. Tell me if I'm incorrect, but it seems to me like, weight and physique is really important in the African culture. Okay.
They're a bit backwards, actually. The bigger you are, the more wealthier you're presumed to be, because it was like, oh, you're eating well, and yeah, the bigger you are, the wealthier you are, and the thinner you are, like it means that you either have something going on, or you're sick. So you have to find a medium between being too big and too small. So like it's a lot of pressure to find the perfect weight where you're not like being made fun of for being big, but then you're also not being made fun of for being too skinny.
Okay, so there's a lot of pressure in the African culture about maybe not being too thin, but also not being too thick. And so growing up in the African culture, you felt that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, like some people would look at me and be like, "Oh, I'm fine," but then I'm like, "Okay, I'm this big, and I haven't had kids yet. How much more am I going to expand after kids? I don't want to keep getting bigger." So I guess also it's that self pressure where I want to be at a good physical place to have kids and not look like even bigger after I've had kids, and be able to like snap back, I suppose,
to your original body weight after having a child. Okay.
I know for most people it doesn't matter, but I believe it can if you're usually like an active gym person, then like you can get back into that routine shortly after you've given birth.
Yeah. So you said just a few seconds ago about self-pressure that you place on yourself for about this weight loss journey. So tell me what that looks like for you, like that weight loss pressure, that weight pressure.
I don't know how to put it into words, but I'm constant. I guess I'm my own biggest critic.
Okay.
As like I'm constantly just like, oh, like we're big.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like for me, my arms are like massive. They're like manly arms. So I always try to like wear like a sweater or like hide my arms as much as I can. Like even if I wear a dress, I'll try to like put a scarf over my arms. Like I'm giving away my secrets now, but yeah, it's just like I'm always like very like body cautious, trying to cover myself, and I suppose it also has a lot to do with like childhood stuff, which is probably a tab that we shouldn't go into. But
we don't have to go into detail about that.
Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, I've always been like body cautious, and I also, I think puberty hit me like hard. Like my hips came out really quickly, and then all of a sudden like I had this womanly shape, and then it was like, oh my goodness, now I'm bigger than everyone in my year group. But it wasn't a bad big. It was just like I was more curvier than everyone else. Like, oh no, this is really bad. So then that's kind of where like my body's cautiousness really kicked in.
Okay, so you have a lot of caution about your body, and that's where a lot of the self-pressure comes in, because you're, like you said, you constantly say things to yourself about stuff like that. So I'm curious to know if there's ever a time where you feel good about your weight.
I think like when I have like my makeup done and my hair is done, and I'm wearing like a really nice dress, and I'm like, oh, like the body's coming in handy because it's helping me like fill out the dress, I suppose.
Right.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I look good in dresses. That's when I'm like, okay.